Thrown into transition. Now what do I do? Book 2 of my Life's Adventure series. Peggy Lee Hansen. Contents: testimonials, dedication, ingratitude, introduction by Marcia Wieder, prologue, simple words one at a time, trusting the transition, stop being the victim, take stock on what you have, begin to see the possibilities, keep and accentuate the positive, take action, be persistent with resistance, the make or break shift, after the transition, epilogue, the change of seasons, about the author, dedication, to each and every one of you who are going through a transition in life, whether it is by choice, the choice of others, or simply a situation that is out of your control. Introduction by Marcia Wieder. Peggy explains in her book, Thrown into Transition, how she personally overcame the emotional and life-holding trauma of being forced into that unwanted position of change with great poise and dedication. She saw it as the time to take action on her dreams. During these past months, since becoming a fabulous certified dream coach, she has demonstrated a tough resilience to letting a transitional period such as this get the best of her. Instead, Peggy hit life straight on, grabbing it by the tail, taking advantage of the opportunities put before her. I have had the privilege to teach and watch Peggy grow into her purpose of empowering those going through change and reaching the other side with their own success. I was so impressed with her ability to complete any task and the sincere, caring attitude she displays when dealing with people. I asked her to be part of my Dream University team. Peggy shows you simple yet insightful steps that will inspire and encourage you with support while moving through your own transition, regardless of how you got there. Marcia Wieder, CEO and founder, Dream University. Prologue, simple words, one at a time. If it's one thing we learned from the first book, it's that you don't have to be a prize fighter or a world-renowned architect or a concert violinist to have been affected by the power of words. Marlo Thomas, in reference to her book, The Right Words at the Right Time. The best way I know how to get through a transitional period is to look forward into the future, how I want my life to be. I dream of what I want and take the necessary steps to get me there. It can be difficult to think about dreaming at a time like this, when you are in the middle of change, but that is exactly what should be done. Why, you ask? Let's say you have a headache that just won't quit. You've tried everything to get rid of it, aspirin, rest, a darkened room, all to no avail. In the meantime, the phone rings and it is your best friend calling just to have a chat or inviting you to go golfing. While talking, you soon notice the headache is gone. Your mind moved off the pain thinking about something more pleasurable while talking with your friend or grabbing your clubs. The same effect happens when your thoughts move away from the transition you're experiencing. When you focus on more pleasant thoughts, the body relaxes, the mind is more open to new ideas, and you have more confidence that you will survive the worst of the situation. Let the opportunities pour forth. But where do you begin? The best place to start is incorporating a simple word into your thoughts, and that word is believe. Trusting the transition. Trust yourself. Create the kind of self that you will be happy to live with all your life. Make the most of yourself by fanning the tiny inner sparks of possibility into flames of achievement. Golda Meir. A few years ago, while still in the corporate world, I devised my get-out plan. I listed the things I wanted and did not want by the time I reached the age of 55. The list included not having to drive 80 miles a day into a major city, how I wanted to spend my mornings drinking coffee, reading the newspaper, and then retiring to my office or den to begin a day of writing. These were simple items, I thought, and was not asking for much. However, those items on that list ultimately came to fruition. Change is not easy for anyone, but if it could be looked on as an opportunity to improve or to enhance your life, might transition be embraced more like a trusting friend? Even though I prepared the best I could for the change in my life, it still was hard to accept that I was being forced into retirement. Sure, the weeks were like being on vacation, sleeping in, watching a little TV or a movie. However, that routine quickly got old. After sitting for weeks turned into months, I discovered the gems described in the following chapters. Once realizing I was moving forward with the dream of being my own boss, in control of my own destiny, and believing in myself, there was no stopping my progress and successes. May this become your reality as you read on. Exercises have been included to help create your own plan as you transition through the change. My hope is that you take time to complete them. Space has been provided on the page to jot down your answers or thoughts. What is the transition you are experiencing? After the transition, the best day of your life is the one on which you decide your life is your own. No apologies or excuses. No one to lean on, rely on, or blame. The gift is yours. It is an amazing journey, and you alone are responsible for the quality of it. This is the day your life really begins. Bob Moad. You have to believe in yourself before anyone else will. Take the necessary actions, step by step, inch by inch, to excel in leaps and bounds into the life, your life you dreamed of. What is your next action step? And the one after that? What else? The next step I will take is... About the author. Peggy Lee Hansen, personal transition guide and mentor, is expert at compassionately helping those suffering loss of any proportion, especially through unemployment. Using proven strategies and support, she teaches how to move quickly and easily through current or impending life-changing moments so that you can have the life you are meant and deserve to live. Peggy Lee is a speaker, best-selling author on Amazon.com, certified dream coach, and group leader, trained True Purpose coach, and CEO and founder of MyDreamArchitect.com, a subsidiary of Personal Transition Guidance, LLC. Also, Peggy Lee is co-facilitator and co-owner of the Coaches Circle Mastermind groups and is a regular columnist for the online community of DreamUniversity.com. She is a member of the International Coach Federation and Toastmasters International. Follow her at Peggy Lee Hansen on Twitter and Facebook. You may also subscribe to her blog and newsletter by visiting http://www.inspirationforencouragementtosupportyou.com.